I did the solo. People hitting me up, yo, let me know what CP thinking, man. We need to know what CP thinks about this move. It's a lot of layers to it.
It's a lot of layers.
What do you think, CP?
It's a lot of layers. You know, it was interesting because it was something that fans had always been intrigued about, even from last year. You know, what do you think about trading for Reddish? And what do you think about Reddish? And should we trade RJ for Reddish? Or, who's better right now? And then, obviously, when he had the playoff run that he had, the little couple game stint, fans were really high up there. I think he had averaged, 13 points in that little playoff stint. So, that was big. But for me, when I saw the parameters of the deal, I was like, this is a no-brainer. This is an absolute no-brainer. It is another low-risk, high-reward move by this front office that I think you have to applaud them for. Is Reddish a complete player right now? Obviously not. But yesterday, the GM of the Hawks was interviewed. Today, Nate McMillan was interviewed, and they basically said, he went to them early this offseason, requested the trade. He wants a bigger role. Obviously, he wants to get paid, wants a bigger role. The GM had a lot, thinks this guy could be a future all-star. You had Nate McMillan saying this guy could be Paul George. Will he be that with the Knicks? I don't know, but I'm still willing to make that trade to see if he can be, because the way the Knicks have built this team, what they're saying to you is, yes, we're going to try to win games and be competitive and build a winning culture, but we still have our eye on the big picture. And that is, can we get lightning in a bottle with this kid? Is this a situation where he can finally, flap his wings and reach his full potential? This is the way that this team has to look to build, whether or not he's a building block to help us win, or a building block to help us get another piece later on. And that's why I was always saying, like, when Ari and Jay would call in and say, we're stuck, we're going to be mediocre. You can't be stuck with all these draft picks and young players on your roster, and you still have cap flexibility. You're not stuck. And so I'm saying you have to be patient with this front office, because they're telling you right now that they're being patient. You know what I'm saying? With not including Quentin Grimes in the deal, they're telling you, we're going to do this at our price. We're not desperate for the kid. We'll take him, but it's going to be on our terms. We're not just going to give up Quentin Grimes just to make a back page splash and make our fans happy. It's going to be on our terms. And they got the deal done on their terms. I got to applaud them on it.
And you know how this works, CP. Like right now, it looks bleak because, everybody has the Zion jokes and everything. But you know how this works. From the moment that he comes back,
oh man,
if he plays 15 straight games,
what does he want to do? What does he want to do?
All he has to do is play 15 straight games.
What does he want to do in the offseason?
Once he goes for 15 games straight, he doesn't get hurt. People, it's like, nope, that's it. He's healthy. Let's go get him.
Let's go. Let's bring him to the Knicks. What do we want to do? Let's get the Duke reunion. You already know the hype train is going to start rolling this summer. If he comes back and plays the whole second half, you already know the hype train is coming back this summer. The Zion one out of New Orleans. Will the Knicks trade for him? It's happening. Other pursuits. Obviously, we know the Turner interest is there. Especially the way that Mitch is playing. I don't think it makes much sense. I don't think it makes much sense, especially the way that Mitch is playing, to go out and go get Turner for that salary. Now, Berman is reporting that the Knicks are hot after one Jalen Brunson, who was one of our point guard targets. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent this offseason. He was a restricted one this past one, but he's going to be an unrestricted free agent after this season. The Brunson thing is going to be interesting, man, because we don't have the cap space to sign him outright. So you're looking at a sign and trade scenario either at the deadline or in the offseason. And then De'Aaron Fox, man. I've got to think they have their sights on Fox. The Kings already have Davion Mitchell. They already have Halliburton. I think Fox could be the odd man out. Obviously, his contract is crazy. He's going to be making $30 million over these next few years. So any type of sign and trade is going to have to involve, a lot of salaries just to match that, And so I'm not sure if they could even get a Fox deal done this season. I'm not so sure, man, because you're talking about $30 million right there.
From reports that I'm seeing, it looks like that new regime has the green light to do what they think is best. And, you know, hey, Fox is going to be 25. Sometimes things run its course. I know he has that contract. But again, I'm personally not the biggest Fox fan because he's not, you know, he's not a good shooter. And again, what's the fit here if RJ is going to be, you know, a playmaker? That'll be interesting to see, because if RJ has the ball, then Fox is going to be standing. And if he can't hit the three, it's going to be an interesting fit. And then most importantly, you're going to have to give up a lot, CP.
You're going to have
to give up a lot to get a young player on that contract. And he's not shooting the three. Nah. He's not a good defender. He's a dynamic player, though. He you know, you're probably going to want to run a more of a fast, you know, heavy offense if you're going to bring him here, because that's the other thing too, CP. When this franchise decides to give up draft picks and young players for whoever we bring, that's going to be a big change in your team, because you're bringing that player over. And you have to be prepared to, you know, maybe change up the way you're running your offense or defense to put that player in a position to succeed. Like, fans forget that part.
We'll certainly see what happens there, but I think the Knicks will certainly be active, man. I don't know how aggressive they will be the rest of the way, but they'll definitely be active.